This is Fred Beck from Fred Beck Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store, and joined in the black cab today by Ring Wraps. A little Easter edition here. Tell me about it.
Happy Easter, Fred. Happy Easter, mate. How we doing, Fred?
It's a little bit late though, isn't it? Easter, it's gone past.
Mate, better late than never, yeah? Look, Bunny's still in the building. No bunny, no honey.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Anyway, it is fight week for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. By the time this goes out, I've no idea what day it will be. Obviously, today is a Monday evening.
That's how good a weekend it's been. You don't know what day of the week it is.
It's been a good weekend. But tell me about the fight. Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte. First off, what are your expectations?
Right, so I think it's gonna be an action-packed fight. A lot of people have been predicting a bit of a boring kind of chess match. Maybe Fury keeping it long, or Dillian trying to be a bit crafty. To be honest, I expect maybe 3 rounds of that. But I think as soon as the first, decisive bit of action starts, i.e. someone lands a big shot or someone gets knocked down, I expect it to spice right up then, like kind of a la Fury Wilder 3.
Certainly, but what game plan do you think Dillian Whyte has to kind of bring in to this fight, obviously planning it for Xavier Miller?
Do you know what? It's a weird one because obviously Dillian's had his radio silence and he's not really giving much away, and Fury's normally the kind of jester of the court. But game plan, I think, be unpredictable because that's what Fury is. But sit down on your shots when it's time to do it. Don't just wait for the left hook because the left hook will come anyway in good time. Fury's a weird paced fighter, meaning that he can switch it up. And I don't even know if he does it deliberately. You know, like Fred, where certain trainers or corners will say, go out there and do this strategically. Because I know it was a grudge match, but Wilder 3 fight, the instructions for Sugar Hill, Fury wasn't taking them all in each round. It was only when he said come on, big dog's time to get off the porch kind of thing. But with Dillian, I expect him to try and make it a dogfight with Fury. And he's got to be honest. But he's got to be a boxer puncher. But the thing is, he's going up against the best boxer puncher in the division. I expect it to be a slugfest in spurts, but I also do expect there to be some clinical work done. However, I think Dillian's got to make it aggy. He's got to make it nasty from the first couple of rounds. If he doesn't get Fury's respect early, and I don't mean power, because Dillian, we all know Dillian's got power. He's probably the puncher in the fight. But when I say respect, I mean kind of like Teddy Atlas would say, the geography of the ring. And I don't think Fury's going to take a backward step. So Dillian ain't going to have to hunt him. But Dillian's going to have to put punches in bunches and do some good work early. Like round 2, 3. He's going to have to basically touch Fury on the chin and be like, yo, this is what time it is.
Do you feel the first few rounds, or the first 6 rounds, the first half of the fight, are kind of more likely for Dillian Whyte to win, and the later it goes in the fight, the more likelihood of Tyson winning is?
Fred, can I just say, I think with this fight, I think all bets are off, in the sense that I know where you're coming from. You're going back to the form book, and looking at this and looking at that, and we can say Wilder dropped Fury early in the last fight, and Dillian rallied well against Joseph Parker, and he was winning nicely against Povetkin in the first fight, and then he obviously blew him out the second fight in the rematch. But with this fight, I think styles make fights, but this is also a domestic British dust-up, right? Regardless if it's for the heavyweight championship of the world, it is a British dust-up. And it's a grudge match. When it's a grudge match, I don't think it's that predictable, with the exception of, we know Fury's the superior boxer, and we know Dillian's probably the better brawler. But I wouldn't be surprised if those roles are reversed. And I wouldn't be surprised if this fight went backwards and forwards in ebbs and flows. So, whatever we normally think, I think it's not going to happen.
I guess you just got to expect the unexpected, and that's quite a good way to end it here. But Ring Wraps, thanks for the time. I'm sure we'll catch up soon after the fight. But where can we find you social media wise?
Mate, it's the same business. Ring Wraps 1 on Insta. I'm working away on a few bits and bobs, and to be honest, it's been a bit frustrating that certain big marquee fights haven't been penciled in, because I couldn't really pattern any projects to a time frame that worked. But once the big dogs kind of line things up, we've got Kambosos Haney now. Usyk Joshua rematch will be penciled in very soon. And, obviously on the horizon now, we're looking at Spence versus Crawford. So there's going to be some big spicy fights coming up. But, yeah, man, watch out. The boxing freestyles are going to come sooner rather than later. So, yeah, man, we're at it. Fred, listen, we got a podcast coming as well. So, yeah, mate, it's all happening.